Hello to everyone out there in YouTube land. Today we're going to actually build something. If you have an educator in your life and they find out that you have any sort of skills in the wood shop, you'll likely be called upon to construct something of some sort at some time. Today, we're going to be throwing together a very basic tray. This is constructed with cast-offs and half-inch panel-y stuff for the bottom. Going to cut the drawer fronts to a 2 1/4 inch piece. I'm not really going to miter anything for the corners. Just going to trim some back. Do kind of a butt joint. This is definitely nothing fancy. Bring up our blade on the table saw. Get it to a reasonable height. I've got my push stick. We'll adjust our fence to 2 1/4 inches. And we'll start cutting. Now that these are all cut up, I have got quite a bit of this scrap material that's in not too bad a condition. I'll have to cut, and we'll have to get out the pipe clamps, do a little gluing to make panels that'll be the right size. So the trays are 12 by 16. I'm going to cut down to 9 inches wide. Then we'll sort through the scrap and glue on perhaps a 4-inch piece and cut them down from there. So I have one panel that it's cracking, so that'll donate for a 4-inch pieces, and I'll get rid of the separation of the glued up staves. We have all of our pieces cut. I need to make 3 more of these guys. So I'll reconfigure a bit here, and we'll see if we can't glue something up that's acceptable. Okay, here we are. We've got the pieces we're going to glue up to make our bottom panels. I went to work and cleaned the edges a bit with the rigid oscillating spindle belt sander I picked up. I've got some new clamps with footies on that I got from Harbor Freight. I'll try and do a little review video on that, and then I've got some of the ponies that I've had forever. But to get ready for the gluing, I always get these guys cranked out, get everything close, and you just got to talk with them a little bit, come to an understanding. Not using any fancy glue today. I'm going to try and help with the alignment, grabbing them on the ends with the quick grip. I'll probably end up doing a bit of sanding. There are a lot of really cool glue spreading tools and devices. I just got a bottle. Like I say, these trays are really very basic. I just want them to be sturdy, functional, helpful for the kiddos. We'll start by 2 bottom clamps, give it a bit of a squeeze. Try and set the pony on top. Get a nice even pressure all across, like yay. And we do have some squeeze out, but I think we're going to be all right. Just like so. Panels out of the pipe clamps. We've got a little bit of squeeze out from the glue. What we do with that, I've just got this old obsolete paint scraper, and I go to work. And very carefully, that pulls off most of the bad stuff. So being as we're not super concerned about the thickness of the bottom because it doesn't really matter, we're going to quickly run them through the thickness planer, take off just a skosh to get it cleaned up and looking very nice. So we cleaned everything up fairly nice. We'll quick go over all of these with the sander and then get them cut to size. Now we're doing a bit of sanding. I'm going to sand the, what would be the kind of the interior components of the tray, being as that would be difficult to do once they are assembled. You can see we've got our saw reconfigured. We're going to do some cutting up with a size that's 12 inches by 16 inches. First I'm going to cut to 12 and a half, readjust, double check my measurements, and then cut to 12 inches. We're going to use our friend the miter gauge, trim them up. This end cut nice and square, ready to go. We'll find 16 inches there. We'll cut this one and cut the other two. We're doing a little bit of cutting here on the Delta twin laser miters. I'll finish cutting these up. Then we'll get a little glue and some nails. And some brad nails. So we've got 3 sides on. Now we'll go for the 4th again, just a touch of glue. Put some glue on the ends there. Well, we now have 4 assembled trays. Going to do some sanding on these guys. I've got my rigid oscillating belt sander. I'll have to do a story on this a little bit later. It's a wonderful machine with a great backstory. I've got the table set at about a 5% angle here, I believe. Roundabout, there's not really a set for that, but that's where I've got it. I'm going to go to work and get all these corners and everything even and smooth and looking good. Starting out with some 50 grit to do some heavy removal. I'll swap them to 80 grit and then to 120 and go from there. Our Amazon remote for the dust collector still working very nicely. Okay, I got all the really heavy sanding done. Switched the Platinum over to 80 grit. Gonna run them all through again, and then we'll switch up to 120. grit. I've switched back over now to the 80 grit, leveling out our sanding table. And going to dress up the sides 80 and then 120. So the sanding is coming along well, but there's kind of a pointy spot here. I'm going to try and do a little bit of a radius on that. A sharp edge there. I'm going to take my orbital. Give it a quick little work like that. That'll give us a nice rounded transition. We've got all nice smooth edges. I've got 150 on the sander now. Gonna get all 4 done. Then I'll switch up 220. Well, I've had enough of sanding, but I do have everything sanded very nicely. This one is now completed along with the 3 others. Got everything sanded. It's a nice 12 by 16 size. Like I said, we went 2 1/4 inches deep. The next video, I'm going to finish these guys. Viola. Like and follow.